welcome to today's video. As you can see from the title, we're going to be talking about all the things you got to be packing if you're coming to South Korea. Now this is for if you're traveling, if you're coming to live here, whatever the reason, I'm here to tell you the things that you're going to need. Before we get started, please, as always, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If you are not subscribed already, it would just mean the world. It would mean a lot, and hopefully get me out of YouTube's bad graces, whatever I've done to get kicked off the algorithm. Please put me back in. All right, what to pack. Korea has 4 distinct seasons, and as such, you need to be prepared. Now, I would say pack for the season that you're coming into, and if you're going to be here for a longer period of time, just know that you can always buy stuff later. So just be packed for what you're coming into. With that also said, I want to say that Korea is a very accessible country. You're going to be able to pretty much find whatever it is you need in case you do forget it. So aside from things like your credit card and your passport and certain documents, you're gonna be able to get everything here that you would normally get back home. Some things are easier to find than others, but at the end of the day, if you forget something, it's not a super huge deal. There are gonna be certain things, as I said, that would be trickier to find than others. Such things would include if you are a size bigger than, I think, an Asian L, which is essentially a medium large, so anything that would be like a 2XL, 3XL and bigger, it would be quite difficult to find. Not impossible, but just harder. And when I say Asian L, I mean because in Asia, the sizes technically run smaller than you would find in Western culture. So for example, in the US, I probably run an S, but in Korea, I'm actually an M. So just to help you gauge that sizing difference, everything probably runs a size smaller than what you're actually going to be reading on the label. Another thing that might be difficult is if you're a bigger shoe size than what they normally might be carrying. So I think for women, if you are bigger than a size 250, or for men, a size 290 roughly, a lot of times it's going to be harder to find your size. Something else that would be not impossible to find, but just a little bit more difficult would be if you are darker shades of skin tone when it comes to makeup. I'm kind of on the darker side here in Korea, so I'm usually like the last 2 shades of the full spectrum, and it usually ends a shade darker than me. And that's kind of like how many foundation colors you might be able to find here. We used to have more readily available color shades when we carried Fenty, when we had Sephora, but Sephora is no longer available in Korea. They have since left the country, so we don't have that anymore. There is MAC. If you are a darker shade, it might not be available in every single MAC. I remember one year my friend asked me to buy foundation for her birthday, and I had to go around to at least 4 different department stores before I finally found her shade. And it was the last one in stock. So it was not the easiest. And so I would say if you are a darker skin tone, bring your foundation and concealer shades with you. Pack an extra one in case you lose the first one for some reason. Now let's get to what you actually need to be bringing besides those things. First things, obviously you want to make sure you're packing your passport, wallet, whatever travel documents you need. The next thing that everyone needs to bring, whether you're coming for a visit or you're living here, you're gonna need good walking shoes. Those are an absolute must. The only time I think you might want to wear heels or something is really if you have maybe an important meeting to attend, or if you're gonna wanna go out somewhere more fancy for the night. But I don't really see people wear heels too often, unless it's for like a special occasion. Next up, your charging cables and chargers. You're gonna wanna bring that. Korea is a 220 voltage, which is the same as some European countries like France, Italy, Spain, and I believe Germany. We have the same voltage, but other than that, if you don't share those voltage types, you're gonna wanna bring an adapter. You can, again, buy them here. Your local Daiso, which is our kind of like everything mart. It's like a Dollar Tree, Dollarama situation, but the quality is a lot better, and pretty much everyone goes to Daiso for everything. I remember my friend just came to visit and I introduced her to the world of Daiso, and she was taken aback by how amazing it was.
Discovering Daiso.
First time.
Yeah.
So definitely check that out if you are coming here. Definitely if you're coming here for travel, and also if you're coming here for a longer term. If you're moving to Korea, it actually takes a while to be able to set up your bank account and all that stuff. So you're gonna wanna have cash on you on hand. Korea is a very credit card friendly country as well. But there are gonna be certain situations where I'm assuming you're gonna be visiting maybe some more touristy sites, or if you're gonna be visiting some more kind of like old school Street food stalls, you're gonna wanna have cash on hand because they might not take credit card. Also, if you wanna charge public transportation cards, you're gonna wanna have that on hand as well. Next up, you're gonna wanna make sure you have a SIM card, or like me, I've fully switched to eSIM. My phone actually doesn't take SIM cards anymore, so I can only rely on eSIMs. I do have a code with Airalo, which is an app I personally use whenever I travel now for eSIMs. You can use the code or not, it's totally up to you. Do with it what you will. I would also suggest having a bag with you, like a small backpack or a day pack. You don't need to carry the bags for security purposes like you would maybe do in Europe against pickpockets. There are generally no pickpockets in Korea, and I think in terms of that, we are very, very safe. I've never felt the threat of having my stuff stolen ever. And you're gonna find in Korea, actually, like, people leave their stuff unattended all the time. And that's just because, one, we have a lot of CCTV security cameras, so if you steal something, you're very likely to get caught. But also, two, I think there's this general kind of understanding of, like, don't touch other people's stuff. So you don't need to have all those secret bags and compartments. You don't really need to worry about that. Korea is trying to become more environmentally friendly, so anytime you need to buy a bag, you're going to need to pay for it. So I always carry like a little reusable bag, or just make sure my bag is big enough for whatever it is I'm going to be buying for that day. If you plan on going out for the night, there are certain rules that you want to keep in mind. So for example, if you're going out for the night in Hongdae or Itaewon, those places are much more casual, so you can pretty much wear whatever you want. I've literally worn just a t-shirt and shorts and it's been fine. If you're going to somewhere more like Apgujeong and Gangnam, then you're gonna wanna be a little bit more fancy. You kinda wanna dress like it's for a lounge. Keep those concepts in mind. The other thing too, especially with shoes for those places, no open-toed shoes, especially for men. You wanna stick to kind of like flats, loafers, sneakers. Definitely no sandals, definitely no flip-flops. You're not gonna be able to get in anywhere with those. The other thing too, ladies, I know before my friends had a hard time because she was wearing these mules and they didn't have like a back to them. And those aren't actually allowed if the shoe doesn't have some sort of like back strap or something. I think it's like a safety thing. So keep that in mind as well. And then also, if you are coming to Korea and you want to brush up on some Korean, I do have a code and a link I will put down below with Rosetta Stone, so you can brush up on some Korean before you get here if you want, again, for your use or not. It's totally up to you, no pressure here. But it's available if you want it, it's down below, and it's just helpful always to have a couple of the phrases to be able to, you know, communicate a little bit, show that you care about the country that you're visiting, and also I think people always really appreciate it, and also good for you in case you need to like ask around for something or just like point in the right direction. We have 4 very, very distinct seasons here in Korea. We have brutally cold winters and we have excruciatingly hot summers. So right now as I'm making this video, it is summer here. We've actually just been constantly bombarded with heat wave advisories. So that's how hot it's been here. Global warming, some might say. And it is extremely humid as well, which makes everything worse. My friend was here a couple weeks ago and she told me she went out for the day. She went to kind of see the sights. She changed her clothes 3 times. And every time she needed to take a shower afterwards. Keep that in mind as well. If you're coming in the summer, you might be doing a couple of clothing changes every time you step out of the house. But you want to bring breathable clothing items. So cottons, linens, anything light, and probably some sort of like t-shirt, shorts, skirts, anything that flows and lets you breathe is definitely preferred. You're gonna wanna bring your sunglasses. You might pack some sunscreen. There's a lot of sunscreen here though, so you can definitely pick it up while you're here. Some other things I think are helpful to have would be cooling wipes, which you can also buy here, and also handheld fans, which are definitely available here as well. Another thing is an umbrella. So in Korea, we actually have these UV umbrellas. I definitely think they make a difference because you're essentially giving yourself shade, portable shade, and I do find them really helpful. I know a lot of like old grandmas carry them here, but I'm super into them. I also got my friends into them because they realized I was actually cooler than they were when I was using it. So even though they laughed at me at first, they've all come around. In the summer as well, it's gonna be brutally hot outside, but actually in subways, in stores, and restaurants, the AC will be going on in full blast. So you might wanna bring a small cardigan or a scarf or like something light that you can cover yourself with. Then other seasons, if you're coming here autumn and spring, which is my preferred season for being in Korea, so if you're coming at those times, good job. Autumn and spring are my favorite seasons in Korea. I definitely recommend everyone to come in the autumn or spring instead of the summer and winter because I think the temperature is just a lot more bearable. During those seasons, a lot of layering pieces that you would expect. Cool in the day, but it actually does get quite chilly at night, so bringing a light jacket with you in the evening is definitely recommended. Long pants, warm dresses, or dresses that you can layer with, and also maybe an umbrella. You never know, especially in the spring. Again, you can pick up an umbrella here. Winter, it's freezing. No easy way to say it. It's really cold. We do get snow, we do get ice, we do get sleet. I don't think personally that the snow is cleared as quickly as it should be sometimes, so you're gonna find that the streets and sidewalks are quite slippery as well, so just be cautious of that. That's why I do recommend more sturdy shoes, maybe some boots or something during that time frame, just to make sure that you're not slipping and falling everywhere because it could get quite dangerous. Definitely thermals, heat tech is my best friend in the winter. Genuinely, I think in the winter, the only thing you'll catch me in is a heat tech turtleneck. Like I have them in multiple colors and I just kind of switch them out every day. That's my go-to outfit in the winter for sure. Definitely a down jacket of some sort because it is, again, very, very cold. Gloves, scarves, ear muffs, whatever you gotta do, whatever you gotta do. I always recommend carrying out a heat pack with me in the winter. I carry on two, one for each pocket. You can get them here in Korea. There's also the rechargeable ones you can use with USB. So you're not throwing them away. But anything you need to stay warm, it's freezing. Some people like it, not me, but some people do. So if winter is your vibe, go for it, but definitely be ready for it. Those are the things I recommend everyone to bring if you are coming to South Korea, whether you're again visiting, moving here, whatever the reason. I think this kind of covers what you would be needing to pack overall. Anything else that you need, even if you forget something, even if you lose something, you will be able to get it here. Obviously, you want to come prepared as much as possible as well, so hopefully this video helps you out. If you have any questions, definitely let me know down below. I will get to them and I will answer them. In the meantime, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!